perhaps also to state for record that we also appear in E015 in protest. But further that, Your Lordship, kindly confirm that the number that is now registered in the matter that came from Kiruguya is E015. And that is important, Your Lordship, because of the purposes of administrative transfers of files. Because what was at Kiruguya, Your Lordship, was E015. Does it therefore mean that that file has not yet been integrated into the Nairobi files? And if so, then how do we appear to proceed before you, and how was the matter that we shall raise other issues? Just confirm on the question of the integration of that file with the Nairobi files, because the last file that we have should be 565 as at Friday. Are we dealing with the matter in Kiruguya or in Nairobi?
Yes, let me deal with my Lord, for the purpose of E572 of 2024.
That file is not before us.
That's all I'm only saying. I have heard the directions of the bench. The file is not before you. But I have instructions for the purpose of the work to check that that petition was filed on 18th of October. The same day the Kiruguya file were filed. All the directions in all these files that have been taken to a graveyard is that none of these files of ours have orders. The reason as to why Kiruguya file is before the learned judges is purely because they have orders to stop the swearing in of the deputy president-elect. The CJ could not have selectively decided to have only one file before you, my lords. This is a trial of the judiciary. It is a trial that goes to the root cause of whether there is impartiality.
Mr.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Omari.
Yes, my lord.
The file you are addressing us, we have said, is not before us. And the files which are before this court are the files in which this specific bench has been empaneled.
Thank you, my lord. Allow me to mourn. Because the questions I'm raising are very pertinent, that there are files selectively brought before you,
Mr. Omari, we wouldn't know that because, as you understand, we only deal with matters in which we have been empaneled. We do not empanel ourselves.
Thank you very much. The empanelment authority has heard me loud and clear. Thank you.
And my lord, if you could mourn elsewhere.
Madam, I have indicated in this honorable court that there will be at least 3 clarifications.
Just a minute, Mr. President.
I think we need to get something right. I want to clarify how these files are before this bench this morning. The 3 files which were filed in Kiruguya, that is 13, 14, and 15 of 2024, had some interim conservatory orders issued by the court. further to the issuance of those orders, the learned judge made further orders requesting the Honorable Chief Justice to impanel a bench. Those files were transmitted on the basis of that order to the Honorable Chief Justice's office on the 18th of October 2024. On that very day, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice empaneled this bench to hear those matters. Thereafter, applications were filed online. I think you are all aware that we are operating online. Applications were filed online. When those applications were filed online, those are the ones which this bench gave directions for these matters to appear before us today. That is why you are here, and that is the trail, that is the paper trail as to why we're here this morning. So I reiterate the position taken by the presiding judge that we will not be comfortable dealing with any other file, even if it's related to this file, which we did not give directions for it to appear here today. So I think we can now proceed on the basis of that clarification.
Thank you, Judge.
My Lord,
Just a minute, please.
Perhaps just to add that the numerous other petitions that are coming up, I think the process is ongoing. Maybe not all the files have been transmitted to the bench. Maybe by the time we leave this courtroom, other files will have been transmitted to the bench. But as we speak now, here and now, these are the only files that were transmitted to the bench and in which there are applications where the bench gave directions for hearing today. That is not to say that those are all the petitions there are. We don't even know whether the transmission has been done yet, and that we will go back and find all the other petitioners whose concerns are valid. Perhaps those files would now be before the bench formally so. Right.
yes, my Lord, I believe now I can be able to make the clarifications. We are starting with the immediate background that we need to make these clarifications, and we take.
No, Mr. Let us finish with quorum first. There's the quorum there's a quorum in E013, which was consolidated in Kergoya with E014. Let's take quorum on that file.
Your Lordship, is terribly something wrong. And I believe it is important for us to put things into proper perspective. Because when you call the matters, E13 was not part of what was called. I've not heard it, perhaps it could be called. But Your Lordship, in E015, there has never been a consolidation. To the best of my knowledge.
Why are you talking about consolidation? Nobody has talked about any consolidation. These files have not been consolidated. I think that is the next process we'll be going into. Nobody has talked about any consolidation. If you look at the record, you will find that the directions for today's hearing are given specifically on each and every file. There was no consolidation of any matter. No matter has been consolidated. So let us not dwell on things which really are not before the court. Now matter has been consolidated, and let us proceed from there. If you want to apply for any files to be consolidated, that is okay. As we speak now, there is no consolidation. The directions from this court were very specific on 3 different files.
My lords, I'm more guided, but when Justice Rima was giving the clarification, I never heard him clarify whether the Kirogoya file has been integrated into the Nairobi system. Because we cannot be dealing with a file that is reading Kirogoya. Because of course, if there is no integration, Your Lordship, then there is a rat that is made.
My Lord, may I say something?
Let me answer him. You said that record speak for himself. And for record, matters which came from Karigoya came with their own record. And the record states here that the matter herein is consolidated with petition E014 of 2024 and the same to be delivered in the Chief Justice for impanelment of bench in terms of the ruling in petition E014 of 2024, a copy of which shall be placed on this file. So your own matter coming from Karigoya was already consolidated. Those proceedings which took place in Karigoya consolidated these two files. So let that not be an issue here, please. On the directions issues on 11th by Judge Richard Mwongo, these were the directions. The petitioner in E014-2024 to serve their amended petition on all parties. Similarly, the petitioner in E013-2024 to serve their petition on all parties. Respondents to the petition to file their responses by noon of 17th of October 2024. Given that the files are being routed to Honorable Chief Justice forthwith, the parties' response to the amended petition and petition E013 of 2024 may be filed in Karigoya under the Karigoya case tracking system online, whereupon they shall be forwarded to Nairobi. So these proceedings took place in Karigoya. So this court has not consolidated any matter. Petition number E014, and petition number E013 are hereby consolidated. The parties who appeared before the Karigoya court were given those orders. Those were your orders.
And with your permission, Presiding Judge, the reason why Nairobi has not opened another file to put together all the files from Karigoya is this. Going by the orders which were issued by Karigoya court, there was a specific order that because of the transmission, parties will still file their documents under the Karigoya CTS, that is the court tracking system. We had to hold on to that so that not to disadvantage any of the parties until we appear today. Those are some of the things we will deal with here and make orders to the Honorable Deputy Registrar to formalize that. So there should be no cause for alarm. We will put everything into its place.
I presume we may now raise the issues that one raised, particularly arising from the issues in Karigoya.
We will then proceed and take quorum on they were consolidated, so we will not take further quorum on this matter.
The Attorney General, I don't know, I had indicated to the court that I need to raise some clarification.
Section 7 of the Attorney General's Act.
You had read your subject. It doesn't override my right to represent my client.
I'm repeating it.
Can she then say her piece? I say mine.
Which matter are we now dealing with?
We have 0115.
We have several.
We have 0115.
My Lord, I wanted to say that
Yes.
the only matters before this court are the matters which had ex parte orders. The matters that came from Karigoya E13 and E14, although consolidated, they were filed before impeachment and they have no conservatory orders.
I think they do.
We have E15.
E15 has
conservatory orders, but E13 and E14, although from Karigoya, they were filed before impeachment and they had no conservatory orders.
I hope and then we have further